Hey everyone, my name is Jaskran, and today in this assignment, I'll talk about social stratification, through a movie. And the movie I'm choosing is Parasite, and it's a South Korean movie which is directed by Bong Joon-ho. And this movie shows the gap between two families, the poor Kims and the wealthy Parks. Through their interactions, we see how economic inequality shapes lives and opportunities and relationships of two groups. Now I'll talk about like five ways this movie has depicted social stratification, and I'll also talk about social stratification as a whole. So social stratification is the ranking of people in society based on factors like wealth, education, power, which shapes our the access to resources. In Parasite, though, stratification appears through class difference, which you can say with each family positioning their lives and impacting their livelihood. This structure sets up an almost unbridgeable gap between Kims and the Perks, symbolizing larger social issues and conflicts between the two groups. Now, let's talk about like the five factors which this movie shows, which I can relate to social stratification. The first one is obviously the most important one, the economic inequality. The Kims are, as I referred, they were poor, so they live in a cramped, semi-compressed basements, symbolizing poverty, obviously, while the Perks enjoy luxurious home and wealthy lifestyle. This contrast shows the economic divide affecting in the quality of life and security. The second of my factor would be employment and exploitation. So the Kims, as you know, they are poor, so they infiltrate the Park's household by taking on roles and duties like tutors, servants. They lie about their identities, reflecting the lens of the poor may go for survival. Because you can say they are two different groups. They are fighting, not fighting, but they're way apart. But Kims have to work for whom they don't like to survive. So the Perks, meanwhile, remain unaware of the hardship faced by their employees, highlighting disconnect and exploitation, showing a exploitation and disconnect factor in this movie, which is common in class-based employment. You can see this all around the world, also not individually in this movie. So my third factor would be social mobility and class empratment. So the Kims see their work as a chance to, you can say, get rid of their poverty, but Parasites shows that their class limits them. Despite of their efforts, they can't fully break free from their economic struggles uh, and barriers. That too, you can say, uh, upward their mobility of for being poor. um, they just can't do it because the class factor comes in between them, as the class says, okay, you can do this work, you can earn only this, you cannot move in your you can say hierarchy. So my fourth of the factor would be education as privilege. So the Perk family hires private tutors for their children. You can say it was a privilege for them, because they had all those money to hire each and every tutor for each and every subjects. And this shows how education often serves as a tool for maintaining social status, giving the wealthy an advantage over the poor. Because you can also say like the Perks were so wealthy that they can have any tutor they want at any time, but Kims, they don't have this kind of facility, and this is so uh, you can say it is discrimination by the nature, or by this rule of this hierarchy, and it shows like this is the also the most important factor in this social stratification game. My fifth factor would be physical and sociological boundaries. So this is the also the most important factor after uh, you can say after economics, in my opinion. So this film uses physical spaces to represent social boundaries. The Parks live in above ground, while the Kims are forced to live in down in semi basements or even basements alone, showing their lower status. This spatial division in is also act as a metaphor for rigged boundaries between the two classes or groups or whatever you want to say them. Now let's talk about like what I consider are the three sources that deepens our understanding. First one would be culture capital. The Kims lack the of the culture refinement of the perks, may marking them as outsiders. The lack of culture capital limit their acceptance in the wealthy class. Second one would be Marx class conflict. Marx theory is evident here also, as Parasite shows the tension between the wealthy and the working class. This leads to conflict between the both of the groups, symbolizing the friction that often present in, you can say, stratified society. The third one would be Goffman's uh, drama. What's the word? It is. Wait a sec. Kaufman's dramatology. Sorry, the Kims performs roles of the Perks, hiding their true struggles. Kaufman's idea that people perform for those of the highest status is evident in this movie as well. As you can see, the Kims are working for the Perks who are higher to them. So, in conclusion, the Parasite portrays social stratification through economic inequality, employment, exploitation, limited mobility, education privileges, psychological boundaries. This film also reveals the harsh realities faced by those who are at the lower end of the society. And it's the best movie I can think of to explain all this. And thank you for watching my video. I hope my analysis was good enough to understand the social stratification in this world, which is present in this world through the lenses of Parasite. Thank you. Have a nice day.